Hi guys, Kim here. Welcome to Backyard Blooms. In today's video, I am at my neighbor's house, Bonnie, and this is Bonnie. And what is better than having two neighbors that love to garden at the same time? So for the last 3 years, we have gone to Creekside and we loaded our truck up. We kind of have a plan of what we like to do in our containers, and especially right here in the backside. Bonnie loves to do like a hose swoop, and I love that she loves red because I don't really do red in my garden, but I love red.
A lot of red and pink, yeah.
Yeah, and then I am 2 houses over from her, so there's a neighbor in between us, but she's up on a hill and I'm down below her, so I can see her garden and my garden all at one time. So I just absolutely love, I get to enjoy my garden as well, in my backyard and in her backyard too.
I can look down on Kim's backyard and it looks beautiful from here.
Yeah, so we get to enjoy each other and we help each other out. So we'll, like, especially with mulch, we'll like grab 7 or 8 yards of mulch and we'll just help each other. So that helps out a lot too. We enjoy our company, right, and then we get to garden together as well.
It's a good workout.
Yeah, definitely a good workout too. So I told Bonnie I just wanted to ask her what her favorite flower was in the garden this year. So Bonnie, what's your favorite flower?
I would have to say that my favorite flower is the super petunia. It's a bubblegum super petunia. I originally had them up here, 4 baskets, and then they weren't doing well. So we moved them down to the lower part of the yard, and they loved the drip, and they've just exploded. So that would be my favorite.
Yeah. So
they came back a second year.
Yeah, I turned Bonnie on to drip too because we both work full time. She is a nurse, and I do ultrasound, and she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, will you help me? And I helped her and we did it all together, and she has every garden that she has here on drip as well. Now we do have to watch our drip. We have to make sure the drip comes on every day and monitor it a little bit, and then every now and then we have a few little leaks that we have to take care of. Actually, she had a leak today that we noticed that we had to take care of, but it helps us out a lot, especially with all the watering that we do. Now in the containers, we have noticed that we've had to water a little bit more in the containers, but as far as everything in the ground, we do not
done well.
No water yet. And then Bonnie's grass looks really well too. She does the same regimen that I do with the Andersons, with the PGF Complete fertilizer and soil amendment every single month. And
right,
Bonnie, it is like tremendously changed our yard.
Totally changed, yeah.
So I'll have all those links in below too, and we'll enjoy her grass as well as her gardens today. And then I asked Bonnie also, like, what particular plant did you struggle with that you weren't happy with the performance this year?
I have to say my Rosa Sharon. I have 2 Rosa Sharons, and one is doing okay, and the other one, I haven't seen any blooms yet, so just waiting.
Yeah, so I don't really have much good advice on that one because we fertilize. Mm-hmm. She fertilizes the same with me, right, the rose tone, plant tone, polytone, all those tones. And then she always, you can use the biotone when we plant as well, and it's in full sun.
Right.
So,
I'm not sure.
Like, it gets good drainage, so it's not like it's got too much water. So if you guys have a suggestion, one Rosa Sharon does really well and has bloomed. So anyways, I'll show you the bubblegum petunias that are doing great, and we'll show you the Rosa Sharons, the one that just looks great. Foliage looks great, just has not bloomed very well either. So we'll get the camera turned around and we'll talk about all the gorgeous plants that Bonnie has in her garden this year. Thank you. So we're on Bonnie's front porch, and I told her I just love these geese. I can actually see them all the way down in my yard. I think they're really, really cute. Just loving on each other. And then she has 2 different types of coleus, and this is just a standing container, and this gives her privacy from her neighbor over here. So that was the main thing that she wanted. And boy, does this coleus give you privacy. So I tell everybody to keep their plant tags, and of course Bonnie has done that as well because I always tend to forget some of these names. But this one right here is the Color Blaze series, the Newly Noir. I had this planted in my garden last year, and I do miss that one this year. But however, my house is a little bit darker than Bonnie's house, but it plays really well off her contrast of her house. So I apologize of the plains. We live in Zone 8, Charlotte, North Carolina. Look at her kitty cat right there. Bonnie, which one is this one? What's the name of this one? Your cat.
Oh, what's the name? Axel.
Axel. This is Axel. She's got 2 kitties. They're constantly bringing her goodies. Right, Bonnie?
Yes, crickets.
And look, the bumblebees love these blooms right here. So I actually really like these blooms. They're like a lilac, kind of bluish color playing off this deep burgundy. So really, really pretty. But you can see the bees are just like loving this bloom. So these are great for pollinators as well. And everybody knows that I can show you bees all day long. But this coleus is doing great. I'd say it's probably a good 2 feet to 2.5 feet right now. And then the other color blaze coleus that she has here is the chocolate drop. And there's the tag for that one right there. And this one is a trailing coleus. And she says she has trimmed this back at least 4 times this year. You can see that it's almost all the way down to the ground of this container. I think she's got 3 plants in here total, and then maybe 3 or 4 of the coleus as well. You can see Axel hunting over here. So I'm on the very side of her garden right now, and this is her neighbor's house. And you can see that she's got a couple of emerald green arborvitaes that are doing really well. And they're quite tall. They're going on at least 3 to 4 years of growth. And then this is her Rose of Sharon that she said that she hasn't, or she's concerned about it. Like I said, it has really good growth on it, but just hasn't bloomed out very much. But I have seen several little blooms on there. She said when it does bloom that it does not, they're just not big. But I do see lots of blooms, so you know, you never know, this might be just a late bloomer, like a different variety. And then this Rose of Sharon over here is doing really, really pretty. I love this white. This one is a Proven Winners plant. Look how beautiful that bloom is. Now these Rose of Sharons are the family of a hibiscus. Let me see what the variety of this one is. She's got it tagged down here. This is called the White Chiffon Rose of Sharon from Proven Winners. And you can see lots of buds on this plant about ready to bloom out as well. And then while I'm over here, this is the side garden that we worked on last year. And she had nothing but grass over here, and it was just, the grass was not growing very well. And she's like, I just want to mulch it and plant something different. So we helped each other on this one. This was the where we did the no dig, or we didn't like dig the sod up. So we had lots of the super sod compost brought in. I think we had 2 big bags, 2 big yellow bags. And then we put the compost down. We did cardboard, then compost, and then we did about 7 yards of mulch on this side garden. But she's got 2 different varieties of sedum in here. And the sedum does really well on a hill. So by planting this hill up, we prevented the erosion as well. And all these roots in here will prevent the erosion. And then over time, these creeping junipers will fill most of this space. So that's what this one's looking like on her side garden. And this portion of her garden is what I can see most from my house, and it just, all that red is absolutely gorgeous. So this is an impatient, and it is a sun impatient. So these plants do really, really well here in our zone. Just absolutely gorgeous. She planted two flats, I believe. I think there were 20 plants in here. Does that sound right, Bonnie? 20 plants? Do we have? Yep, so 2 flats. 1 flat had 10 in it. So we bought 2 for a total of 20 plants in this area right here. And then she already had some lemon coral sedum in here as well. And then we bought another flat and then put one in between the one that she already had here in the garden. So these did go to flower, but she said she took off the flowers on them. But look how gorgeous this sedum is. This is the lemon coral sedum. It's also a proven winners plant, and the impatient is a proven winners plant as well. So this is a different angle right here. Her kitty cats like to hide in between these impatiens. And this is the back of her garden. You can see that this is our neighbor's Al's house right here. He also does the same grass routine as we do. And then this is how my garden looks like from Bonnie's house right there. She gets to see the other side of the garden that you guys don't see. And look how much pretty those crepe myrtles are shining down there. They're definitely the show right now. So these are the bubblegum that Bonnie said that she thought was doing the best flowers this year. These bubblegum Super Petunia Vista is a proven winners plant, and she bought these as a hanging basket, and she bought 4 hanging baskets last year, and then she took them out of the hanging basket and put them in the ground. So each hanging basket had 3 plants in each. So you could see that there's one here for 4 total. And these are on their 2nd year. So yes, you do get your money's worth out of these Super Petunia Vistas. So when the frost hits them, do not pull them up out of the ground. Leave the roots in there and just cut them back, and you can mulch them really well if you'd like. But hopefully Bonnie will get 1 more year out of these Super Petunia Vistas, and maybe even more out of that. So we will see. Look at her pretty little Bonnie's garden right there. So our neighbor Cindy's really good and thoughtful about giving us stuff like this, so she gave me one too. So love her gifts. And then she had some hanging baskets here, and then she loved our shepherd's hooks so much that she asked if we could do one for her as well. And that's all we did was get a 4x4, and then she painted it brown because her house has the same contrast color of that. And then she got some hooks, and these, I feel like the best hooks were 18-inch hooks because they extended out well enough to hold these baskets right here. So these baskets right here are reusable, and they have the cocoa liner with the wrought iron in there, as you can see. And we bought these at a local nursery called Pike's because they're very, very good hanging baskets. And then we filled them with flowers this year. So this flower right here is a proven winners flower, and this one is called Scarlet. I love this color as well. It plays off the red and the pink bubblegum really, really well. And then she's got some of the Silver Falls Dicandra in there as well. This one shows it a little bit better. Now this one right here we had to cut back, but the Super Petunias right now, the benefit really well from cutting back because we have such a long growing season. So this is a great time to cut your Super Petunias back, and they'll start filling out more here on top. So you can see like this one is hanging down a little bit more and not as full on top. And this one she cut all the way back and it rebloomed out. So you can see how full it is on top. Just absolutely gorgeous. So that's what the hooks look like. And then she put a solar light up there as well. And she got all these solar lights at Lowe's, or this solar light anyways at Lowe's. This is a Wadula. It is the wine and roses. I had several of those. My son got me 12 of those when he worked at a golf course, and that's a proven winners brand. So I shared some of those with her because I didn't need 12. But this is reblooming. It blooms the most in the springtime, but you can see there's a little bloom there. Hummingbirds like these tubular flowers also, but you can see she's got quite a few blooms coming out. I love the color of these. That gives you that red burgundy type color against all these different contrast of greens. I think it makes it really pretty. She has a hummingbird feeder. There was a hummingbird on there just a second ago. And And then Chuck planted some heirloom tomatoes. So he just has these in the grow pop-up bags. You can buy these on Amazon, and I'll have that link in the description as well if you're interested in these grow pots. If you don't want to dig into the ground. Look at the kitty. He has one of these tomatoes about ready to blush out right here. Right there. She had to put a couple of these owls up because the birds were nesting in this tree right here and they were attacking the cats. So these birds, this fake owl actually kept the birds away. And then she's got several of the hot pink knockout roses, and they just do good anywhere. The knockout roses do. So we're starting on this side of the garden, and they have the same retractable reel that I have. I have the giraffe as well, and it just works really well. It just pulls out and retracts back in, like so. So if you're interested in that, love the retractable reels. You don't have to keep winding them up. And then they have a solar light on that one as well. And then Bonnie bought this Japanese maple from Creekside, and it's doing really good. And I like that pop of red in the garden as well. The dark black variation of red on this Japanese maple is really, really pretty. And then panning over here, she has several of the emerald green arborvitaes, again, that she had on the other side garden to give her privacy. And then in between each emerald green arborvitae, she planted the sugar baby Forsythia. That's how you say it, Forsythia. And they bloomed, of course, yellow in the springtime. And they stay petite, which she really likes in this area. And then in the corner, she has holly, and then a couple of pentas that didn't do really well in the container, so she pulled those out and replanted them in a different spot. And then let me back up here, and then she has 2 crepe myrtles that are in their prime right now with these gorgeous flowers. And she kind of made like a little horseshoe flower bed. And then in between the flower beds, she's got some salvia that are perennials and some gaura as well. And then she has cut these back several times and they have rebloomed. Look how gorgeous her gaura is right there. I need to prune my gaura back so I can get some gorgeous flowers. I talked about gaura, how they were dancing butterflies in the garden before, so you'll have to see that video as well. And you can see that all the pollinators are loving the salvia here. So Bonnie and Chuck have a really nice outdoor area for entertaining. We come up here and hang out all the time with us several neighbors. And there's a nice palm that's planted in the middle. Now this one will not winter over, so she wants to bring that inside in the wintertime she can. We just tend to buy new each year. And then these are the lilac impatiens. And then down here she has got the calibrachoas, and this one is called the black currant punch, which is a super bells. And remember, I've told you these super bells don't do good in the ground. You have to put them in a container because they don't like wet feet. So this color plays really pretty off these. These have benefited from extra water as well. You can tell when they start drooping that they need some extra water. So she's got 2 containers here that on the very side of her porch. Real pretty pots too. And then I also love that she's got the solar lights to light up her garden at nighttime.
Oh, you gotta keep. Oh, now I got it though.
Yeah. So I really don't want to deter anybody over drip, but this is where I just told you that we love our drip, but you do have to keep an eye on it. So this is where he had a leak. So he said that there was like a little pin drop. Can't tell where the pin drop was in here. So he's going to replace this black hosing right here. So he'll replace it from the faucet all the way down to where it hooks up to the back of the garden here. You can tell it kind of gave him like a clue to what was going on. So whenever you see water standing like this, like, don't ignore it, investigate it. And this is what her timer looks like up against the faucet. So this is Bonnie's front yard right here. And I just wanted to show you these couple of containers. These containers are the aquapots. She's got 2 aquapots. And then this is the new Super Bells Yellow. And you can see her pot there. And this is the Queen Tut that she had in there. And then this one right here, this is the Sun Patience Begonia, red. And then the Snowdrift, not Snowdrift, this is my neighbor's dog. Oops. This is my neighbor dog. This is Sophie. Hey Sophie, you wanna come say hello? You wanna come say hello? And Bailey. Yeah. Say hello. Yeah. Oh mercy. Say hello. Yeah. So I just found her tag. So like I said, the Graceful Grass Queen Tut is in there. And that's what that is. And she has some of the Caroline Sweetheart Lime potato vine. And that is over back that way. And then the Diamond Frost right there is the white. And that is a euphorbia. And then the Surefire Red begonia. And they do take the good sun. So I have these on my side as well. These red begonias do really good. So either in full sun or you can do full morning sun and afternoon shade as well. They just did really good in both. And then I had a Blue My Mind Euvobulus that we threw in here on this side. So this looks really, really pretty with these yellow flowers as well. This is what I have on my skinny side garden. And you can see the potato vine over here. It looks beautiful. And then she's got a fern in this container. And then our neighbor Loretta, that I've already done a couple of videos on her with her garden. She's the one that I did the staking up the bobos. She made us these to put in our garden. Look how pretty and precious those are. And then she has some of these petite, I think they're not really called knockout roses. They're called landscape roses, right, Bonnie? I think.
Yeah, I think they were petite knockouts.
Petite knockouts, yeah. Or landscape roses. And then we both have battled fungus in our gardens this year because it is hot and humid here, and we had a lot of rain early on. So I told her she thought they were dead, but I'm like, no, they're not dead. They just dropped the leaves from the fungus. So she sprayed these with the copper fungicide twice, and they're starting to bounce back and get some new leaves, as you can see, like right here. But you can tell where they still struggled there on one part, but then starting to rebound with new leaves. So if you have fungus in the garden, with the black spot and then they're dropping their leaves, you can also do the copper fungicide. I feel like that's worked the best. And then also the Bio Advanced 3-in-1 Care will help prevent, it doesn't prevent it, but it helps. So this is what her front yard looks like. And then another view on the side garden here that we already talked about with the sedum, and they're about ready to bloom. And we both really don't remember what we bought, but they're proven winners sedum. And I think these were Monrovia junipers. So I'll have to bring you back after these bloom and show you what they look like after they bloom. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope Bonnie's garden was inspiring to you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.